Hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Gotta apologize for that long absence. It wasn't a break, believe me. Well, kind of felt like one, but it wasn't a pleasant one. It wasn't no vacation. It was all technical and some out of my control as far as weather goes. We've been having some wacky weather, and we had a total of 2.5 ice storms, less than a week apart. The third one ended up giving us rain, ice, and then frozen snow with thunder and lightning in the mix. We're supposed to get the same thing again tonight. Anyway, in all of that garbage going on, the power line between, well, it's in the backyard, and it's on the next door neighbor's side of the fence, but the wires come and hook up to our house. They were hanging so low, it was like less than, half of a foot from the fence, which is metal. Is it metal or steel? I don't know. Anyway, lots of freaky things. The internet would go off sporadically. Thousands, tens of thousands of people lost power in the first ice storm. We didn't. But the internet was constantly affected by it. So you would be watching a YouTube video and then everything would just die. So you'd have to wait, and then the internet would come back on, and then everything would be normal, and that was sporadic for days. So that was part of the problem. And again, like I said, it's supposed to come back tonight and do the same thing. So this is just stuff that we put up with every year. From it used to be November through mid-February, and now it's switched. And it's like mid-January through March. So things have changed. And we put up with it every year. Some years are better than others. This is just one of those wacky years. Anyway, technicalities. Oh my gosh. I think the last thing that happened when my last video, I could not get the population. I guess you guys call it residential. It just said it there. But what do you guys call it? Oh, no. I'm sorry. RCI, right? Residential Commercial Industry. None of them would move. Will you quit? And this went on for days. Real, actual days, not city Skylines days. Real days. I kept moving things around, and I would delete some commercial in the hopes that industry would grow, or how, I don't remember. Honestly, it has been so long. It's been about a month and a half. But I could not get these bars to go on. They were just off. There was no demand for anything anymore, anywhere. And it concerned me. And I didn't understand it. But it wasn't the only problem. Some days, everything worked fine. And I'm talking real, actual human days, not the game days. Things would be normal for a while, and then they would start... I'm not going to remember every single incidental that occurred, but the game would flicker, and then I'd get these squiggly lines. That terrified me. Other times I was just unable to load the map at all. Going into the game, there was just nothing there. And I just panicked, like I always do. Because if anybody has been with me since the beginning, I'm not using the greatest computer in the world. And I don't have the money for upgrades. And I have said it 1,000 times. If this computer goes, I'm screwed. It's over for me, because there's no way I could ever, just go to the store and buy another one. I'll never be able to do that. So I panic and I tend to overbaby things, and I go over the top because I'm scared. I just can't imagine life without a computer. And maybe that's a pathetic thing to say, but it is all I have left. This is all I have left to me. This is why I make these videos. But I don't want to go into that. I feel stupid saying that kind of stuff. So what I did is like I've always done. I got rid of everything. All of my mods, all of my assets, cleaned everything out, lost some passwords again. I still can't get into my bank account. They even sent me an email saying, hey, you're going to lose points if you don't start checking your bank account online. And I'm like, I even went to the bank and told them what was going on. And the guy apparently said he fixed it for me. I went home and I tried to log into my account. It said, no, that's not your password. I'm like, but it is. I'm looking right at the password on my phone. And they're telling me that's not it. And I'm like, I'm done. And that's how I deal with that kind of stuff. I'm done. Leave me alone. I just won't use it anymore. Well, that's how I am with my computer. If it's going to start acting wonky, I'm leaving it alone. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will work itself out and I can move forward without having these constant panic attacks. So I left it alone. I could not bring myself to come back into the game and see any more harm being done to my computer. So I went into Steam and I removed Cities Skylines. Why do I always want to say SimCity? I don't know, but I removed the game. I restarted my computer, and then I went back in the next day. I gave it a whole day to get over itself. I went back in the next day. I reinstalled the game, and then I was still too afraid to open it. So I waited, I believe it was almost a week, 7 days, 7 full days. I was just so afraid that if I turned on City Skylines, my computer was going to explode. And I know, I know, but that's the story. I went in, everything worked fine, and I'm like, great. No glitchy screens, no sticky, no weird, like you'd put something down and it didn't look normal. And then you'd come back a little while later and it was completely gone. Things like that just... probably absolutely normal things that everybody goes through, but that's beside the point because it's me. And I just don't like that kind of stuff. It scares me. So I chose this map to work on. And I'm not going to get the name right. I can only say this word correctly if I'm not thinking about it or looking at it. And I still don't think I have it right, but... Azure... Azure, and I don't know if it's Azure Gulf or Azure Coast, and even those are probably wrong, but that's this map. This thumb pump is going to be going off, and I'm just going to ignore it. You're going to have to listen to it. There's too many pauses. Anyway, I went into this map because I just thought it was nice. I can't quite remember what DLC this is from. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And I figured I would really quickly show you here on my resources. Very weird placement as far as I'm concerned, but it does have them all, so I'm not that unhappy about it. Here's my fishies. Got a good variety. And what was this one? Yeah, the train heights. Oh, that map did not look crooked until... So it's a relatively flat map. And we're only going to be working in this dark purple area anyway. Well, the darker area, because I only have the 25 tiles. I do have... Okay. I'm sorry. So, I do have 25 tiles. I do have... Move it? Well, I mean, you can see. Alright? I do have these. And they're all fine. Nobody's saying anything bad. Well, actually, this itself, Unified UI, I don't know what it's called. This says that it's out of date and not to use it anymore, but I haven't noticed that much of an... If I do, this would be the first thing that goes. I don't know where all of these guys would end up if I did that. But this one is telling me it's out of date and it's no longer compatible with the game. Also, I might as well tell you, I had to get rid of every single theme. The map themes and the LUTs and the lighting and all that. I had to. I still think that that was part of the issue. I got rid of all those houses that belonged in themes. Every single one of them. I just said goodbye, and I'm not interested in getting them back because that was very scary. And I still think that was part of the problem. Now, before I even begin on this little tour here, well, let's just go on our tour, shall we? We're going to Cinema. Oh, I always choose the wrong thing. Oh, okay, we can use this first. Anyway, I worked on this for a little over a week, and I'm just goofing around and just waiting for everything to crash on me. And when that didn't happen, I started to gain a little bit more confidence. And that's when I put up that post on the community thing there saying, I think everything's all right, but I'm so afraid of jinxing it. And I want it to start up, but then we ended up getting another very bad storm. Just, what was it, 2 nights, 3? Yeah, it was 2 nights ago. And it was another one that started out as rain, turned swiftly into ice, and then moved over to that chunky snow. It's like a layer of ice on top. And the tree branches came down, and the wire ended up near the fence again, and then the cable internet started going out and on and off and on, and oh my gosh. So fingers crossed I can get through this without any more. Excuse my voice as well. I'm not used to talking this much. I'm not unhappy with what's going on. That's all I can tell you. I have not experienced anything wacky. Maybe some sticking, but I really don't notice that. I tend to remove what's there when I start. I'm not a fan of putting... What are you... See? What is this? I don't know what that was. Anyway, I'm not a fan of putting roads over trees and houses over trees and roads over house markings, and I get rid of what I don't... Where I intend to build, I clean it. I clear it out. So I shouldn't have too much of an issue with nodes and tree counts and things like that. But it's not going to look as pristinely beautiful as most YouTubers' videos look because I had to get rid of all of those beautification mods, and I'm just not going to sweat it. I just don't care. Don't like that. Ugh, that view drives me nuts. And then, while I was gone, I got to spend a ton of time updating my skill knowledge, watching all of those talented YouTubers make videos and teach you how to make a good city. And I feel I actually learned a little bit. I'm never, ever going to call myself an expert. And you will never see me making how-to videos. I doubt I have anything to offer anybody. And again, I might as well mention, if you haven't been with me since the start of my City Skylines videos, these are all me learning how to play the game. I've had this game practically since it was released, and I never learned how to play it. I just couldn't figure it out. And so I would give up, come back, attempt it again, not get it, quit, leave it alone, come back at another time and say, let's see if I can do it. I did not even know how to place a road. I could not figure it out for the life of me. It's like, how? Okay, I'm pulling the road. What do I let it go? How do you? Honest to God, I could not figure it out. So after all that time, and I started watching. Isn't this a beautiful bush? I know my close-up is very fuzzy, but that's pretty. Oh, it didn't show up. Okay, so I'm losing a little bit of things here and there. Oh my goodness, what is this? Is that ugly? No, those are fake, aren't they? Oh, that's cute. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just learning how to play as I go along. Okay, I went up too high. It's going too fast. And I feel like, especially after watching all of those videos all over again, I went through all of City Planner Plays, a majority of Overcharged Egg, Biffa. I'm rewatching Biffa. And I found, oh my goodness, it starts with an I. Infrastructurist, is that his name? I found him. I'm not all done with his videos, but I have watched a lot of them. That looks so funny. And I just tried to absorb as much as I could. I don't know how well. I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I do not know. There was an area in here. I went kind of cuckoo with color. Okay, now we're in nighttime. You're not going to see anything. Good night, son. But I don't know how to say this. I'm confident that I am better at setting up cities than I ever was. Placement and location, things like that. I feel a little bit more confident about. Okay, trees. Anyway, I did go back and I got some assets that I really enjoyed. So all of those are back, and a majority of them are trees and shrubs. And then the rest are those monument buildings, the big buildings. See, I put the pretty, totally unrealistic. Oh, I'm so sorry. The funky looking trees and colored bushes and stuff. I figured, you know what? I don't care. I like this, so I'm going to have it in my city. I think it's cool. And I really don't care about realism. This game is not exactly geared toward realism. And that's the way I see it. All right, I'm going off again. I watched everything I could. I rewatched what I wanted to rewatch. And I feel much more confident about building in the future. But that does not mean that I have all the answers. I figured it all out. And I am 100% confident that I know exactly what I'm doing, because that's just not true. Oh, hi, old man. I like the old man. How come there are no old women walking around with a cane? I don't understand. So, I think going forward, this is all I'm trying to get at here. I'm going to do... Look at these trees. They're blue and and I don't care. I think they're cool. I love color, and you'll notice that as we go on. Anyway, I am going to move forward with the assumption that I have confidence in myself as a city designer. That does not mean it's going to show up that way. Believe me. This was here. I didn't do this. This is the entrance to our little square here. I think I did all right. I mean, I have it down. I'm getting more comfortable with placement, and I think that's important to making a city that looks nice and livable. And that's all I care about. I don't want to copy anybody else. I don't want to rigidly stick to one person's perspective on how the game should be played. I'd rather find my own style, but that is where the problem lies. I truly believe I do not have the talent or the brains to look at something and say, yeah, this is what I want to do with it. I don't believe I have ever had that ability with anything I've ever done. So that makes me nervous as far as this game goes. I mean, most of your popular YouTubers, they start out with an empty map, and within 4 episodes, they have this massive city built that makes perfect sense. Their traffic is practically nil, and everything's working like clockwork. There's no spaghetti, there's no mishmash, there's no ugly, there's no, you know what I mean? I don't know that I will be able to do that. I don't have that kind of confidence. But I do feel much better moving forward, and I hope that's a good thing for you guys watching. But we'll see. I guess we'll have to find that out together. Before I end this absolutely weird, it is weird because after so much time off, I don't even remember how to make videos. My industry keeps moving to the, I guess you would call this the east. Well, wait a minute now. The sun went down here, didn't it? So this would be south, east, and north? Probably got that wrong too. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, the industry. It started out here because this is our beginning square. So I put industry here and I made a little pocket of people here. And we have expanded. And I think you might be able to tell that I want this main road to head off in this direction, which we don't own at the moment, but I would like it to hook up here or here somehow, maybe rework this junction. And then I want to get, I believe my idea was to get this to be the industry island and just keep it that way. And then we would work with the DLC industries in future. I have not really looked at where my industry markings are. I don't really know. Also, I think we're on, oh my goodness, no wonder it's taking so long for the night to go away. I'm sorry. The last thing I want to say, and I apologize again for the umpteen-thousandth time for this silly convoluted video, but I am getting back on the saddle and I don't quite know what I'm doing. There's our son. Oh, where'd you go? Aren't you supposed to come up over here? Uh-oh. Is it that fast? Okay, stop. Where? Oh, because of the clouds? Well, now I'm off. I have no idea. Just yesterday, or was it yesterday or was it a couple days ago? I can't remember. There is another YouTuber who's becoming popular very quickly. He went by another name and then he changed it to Ginge. He does City Skylines videos, and he chose this exact same map. And I was so embarrassed. I wanted to come back in here and just delete this and find something else. But then I thought, you know what? I'm never going to be that popular. Why should I care? His city is obviously going to be 1,000 times better than mine. Why should I care? And I don't. I'm not going to care. Everybody's watching him use the same map. I'm going to put something together that's going to look absolutely atrocious. And he's just going to knock it out of the park. And I'm fine with that. Believe me, I'm fine with that. I can't concentrate on that kind of stuff anymore. So lastly here, this was our entrance. Okay, and I kind of built this up a little bit because that's where our industry used to be. I moved it over here. You can tell, obviously, it's not enough, but there are offices in here. And I'm going to end up changing that as well. I could expand this if I wanted to. But I was thinking that industry would maybe be a better place here. On this little wedge of an island. Oh dear, we've got a crater. Well, maybe I could put that somewhere else. Or just leave it there. But I'd hate to think that any of our workers ended up falling in there on accident. That would be sad. So, it's just a regular gridded city. But I did take the time to space things out a bit. The kids have plenty of places to walk to get over to either side. And I think I have lots of pretty, although it didn't quite work out. I guess with all of this deleting and returning that I did, this was bound to happen, that things would be mixed up. But hey, we can see this during the day now. All right, it's not that blurry. That is really pretty. I'm sure a lot of other people would say that's an eyesore and it's got to go, but not me. And then I did things like this just to break things up. But I'm going to be using a lot more color. See, it doesn't quite look like it, but there is space enough between these houses. And the other thing I wanted to toy around with was, instead of doing 4x4, 4x4, 4x4 all the time, now, I was never really in the habit of doing this, just filling it all in. But yes, at the start I did. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't. But just like, I don't know how good things look like that. 2x4. But just different sizes. Just to see what you would get. You know what I mean? So that would be something that I'm doing. I especially did it in this area here. And I'm going to be doing more of that, especially with commercial. I do not have a problem with going onto your main road here and adding all commercial in strips like that. But again, I left space and I think it looks a little bit better. What I like to do though is go through. The sad thing is when you start out with the pharmacy, you end up getting this building, and this is my least favorite building out of them all. I just don't care for this one. And it just pops up way too many times. So I will be going through and deleting. And hopefully better things will come back. And then I'm not quite sure where I will be going from here, but we'll figure that out. I bought this, I guess, to work. I don't remember. It was something I was working on over here. I'm putting as many of my water towers in roundabouts as I can come up with. Yeah, I have a couple assets still, so I'm happy with that. And it doesn't seem like the game has been too choppy. I will tell you right now, the lighting is probably really ugly, huh? But that can't be helped. I apologize for that. So this is where I'm at. This is how far I got. And I'm pleased that the game is just going. And my computer is not gunning. It's not making weird noises, so I'm happy about that as well. So hopefully I fixed whatever it was that was wrong. But our goal, obviously, is to make sure that these guys remain, you know, please keep going up instead of disappearing and not coming back. And then, as you can tell, we're making good money, 12,000 here. And there is a slight demand. But as you can tell here, well, you quit. There's just no demand. But we have about 10,000 people in our city already. The other thing, I'm sorry, I keep saying that's it and then I'm going to leave and then I don't. It took me all this time and all these years and all this gameplay to realize that this is actually like county building. Now, I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but in the United States, we call them counties and parishes and boroughs. And what it is within the state, you have a huge area. And within that huge area, you have cities. And that's really what this is about. So you're taking one swath of a larger picture, and then you're adding inside that swath. So this would be a county, and I'm going to be creating cities in that county. I don't know why that never occurred to me, but I just figured that one out as well. So I want to get into better landscaping, better layout design. This is not good. I'm not saying it is. This is very generic cookie cutter, and I want to avoid this. But I did this to see how the game reacted after I did all my swiping and cleaning. And I'm so sorry this was such a boring video. First, I finally come back, and this is the best I can do for you guys. To be honest, I have so much to say, and I can't get it all into one video. So when I come back, hopefully I'll be able to do that. But I would like to know, I would like to talk about anything. I know I'm not a builder. I don't record live, you know, here I am plonking this down. I can't do that. I have tried several times to just come in here and talk to you while I'm laying things out, and I can't do it. I cannot do it because I need to stare. and I just don't say anything. Just as an example, I'm going to go here. That. And then I would go like this. I should be talking, right? I can't. I cannot talk and do at the same time. And there's no way you guys would tolerate that. And I wouldn't tolerate it either. That is beyond boring. I've tried so many times to talk to you while I'm putting this stuff together, and it never works. I go silent for 15, 25 minutes, and it's ridiculous. The other thing too, I mean, I don't mind having music in the background. Music in the back of my videos, the background of my videos, is there to somehow very, very, very minimally mask my hideous voice. Or the stupid background noises like a sump pump going off every 4 minutes. That's the only reason I have music in my videos. And I noticed when I was doing my YouTube phase there that a lot of YouTubers either play their music too loud and shout over it. That is so annoying. Or they just build with music going in the background. And then every once in a while, Infrastructurist does this. And it was cute because he's like, I don't think you guys want to hear me talk. And it's like, no, we want to hear you talk, bud. I think he's from the Netherlands. Don't quote me on it. But people with cool accents, you want to hear him talk. I don't have a cool accent. I sure as heck don't have a cool male voice. So nobody wants to hear me talk. And that's why I have the music playing subtly in the background. But ain't all I'm getting at. Oh my goodness. I go around the block just to say one thing. It's ridiculous. Okay, nighttime's coming back. I don't even remember what I'm talking about now. I'm so sorry. This is the stupidest video. What kind of a comeback video is this? I do not know, but I can't show you live work. I mean, trust me, I've tried. It isn't like I haven't attempted. I just can't do it. I even practiced while I was offline, you know, not making videos. And it's the dumbest. I mean, I talk to myself in real life. I'm that lonely, right? Even in shopping, in the store and everything, I'm talking to myself and I don't care what other people think. I'm my only friend at this point. And that's generally what I do when I'm making these cities. But a majority of the time that I'm building, I am listening to somebody on YouTube in the background. So I will have a live stream going just so someone's talking to me and I don't feel completely alone and isolated. And that's the other reason why I cannot record what I'm doing. And I hope that that is okay with you guys. I hope you don't mind my style of video. I think it makes them a little bit shorter. Not this one, but it makes them a little bit shorter. And I'm just a little bit more succinct, meaning I can get what I need to say out there without you guys having to wait every couple minutes for me to get my thought across. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. So I'm back. So this is where we're going to start. I haven't quite decided where I'm going to go yet. I think I need to look into this a little bit more. That might be why I opened that up. But I don't want this on top of my houses. So where else can we find some more? Yeah, see, this is all just trees, which I don't care about. So the industry there would be fine. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe down this way. I'd like to try to do the oil in the water. I think that would be neat. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. But hopefully in the next video that I make, there will be some progress and maybe some changes, some improvements. But I do hope that you're at least somewhat glad that I'm back in the saddle. I hope that's okay with everybody. I hope some of you are happy to see me back. And I hope my plan here is a good one, and I hope it's understandable as well. But thank you so much for watching this and being patient with me. That I really, really appreciate. I know it's been so up and down with me these past, gosh, for the past, what, 5-6 months? I apologize, but I hear my computer gunning, so I'm going to say goodbye. Again, thank you very much for watching this, supporting me. Really appreciate it. Like the video if you did, and subscribe if you're interested. Take very good care of yourselves, and have an absolutely fabulous day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.